Bonjour, mon amis, et les agents. Recently, two ordeals in the sports industry, or rather, should I say, the national sports industries, the football and the NFL and the NBA, have been revealed to public. The main one I'm going to talk about is, of course, the Ray Rice one. But first, the owner of the Hawks wants to sell his team because he feels that too many black people are showing up and quote unquote scaring the white people away. Well, just like the last debacle with Donald Thompson, with the owner of the Clippers stating his real feelings towards minorities, which at this point were pretty much majorities. I hate to say it, but they try and skew Census Bureau results, but we kind of outnumber them. And plus, what is pure white or pure black or pure anything of anything nowadays? We're all too mixed up to be trying to play favorites of being pure of anything. But that's beside the point. I hate to say it and break it to you, but black people, I guess, or pretty much the main reason why there is an athletic industry, because we're a majority of the members. We're not only the majority of the members, but in most instances, we're the star players. Does that make us a better race? No. But, if numbers had to prove that, they would definitely be on my side and anyone else that would share that thought and mentality. So, this guy's a fucking asshole for thinking that, even if that weren't true. If it were the other way around, where it was like either, more white people are better at sports, or it didn't really matter. It wasn't really a particular percentage of a particular category of demographic of people playing sports that did better than most, or consisted of a majority of the league or whatever, then it still wouldn't matter, because it's not fair treatment. It's prejudice and it's ignorance on such a high level that it's fucking absurd to today's standards. But with the Ray Rice scandal, the main thing that I have a problem with the Ray Rice scandal is the fact that the NFL pretty much, and they haven't confirmed it at this point, but mark my fucking words, they pretty much will confirm that they've hidden information about it. And for those that don't know, Ray Rice pretty much knocked out his fiance on the elevator cold through physical blow. She was instructed to lie about it and said that she hit her head. But the thing is, though, we had security cam footage, which I'm pretty sure you all have already seen at this point. Even though this story is still fresh, people are still talking about it. So right now, people are still in question, trying to find out who knew what beforehand, because TMZ even had data and information about this. The NFL stated that this is their first time seeing that video, but I call bullshit, and I'm pretty sure many other people did when they first heard them say that, because Ray Rice being a star player on the team that he's on or whatever, they're gonna of course lie and pretend and make up lies. They do this shit all the time. They do it in the MLB all the time. Making up stories, and then even in the Olympics, they try and make players be bigger than they actually are. What was it, Michael Phelps? Yeah, they made it seem like he was such a great athlete and all, and in the end, he was using performance-enhancing drugs, which are fucking illegal and is more or less cheating. And then the whole Barry Bonds incident. I mean, I forget how that resolved, but they made it seem as if he was on roids because he was hitting a bunch of home runs. But they never said much about Mike McGuire, did they? I'm pretty sure many people had their suspicions, and you had this whole long list of other people that probably were suspected to be using drugs. I mean, the Mitchell report that was released back in, 2009, I'm really going back in time here, was pretty much a thinly veiled attempt at trying to make people feel as if, these guys are more guilty than the rest because we say so, despite the fact that the people that wrote that fucking report were in cahoots with the people that owned the teams, which were also on the board of directors of the overall playing field. Conspiracies and bullshit runs deep. But that's the thing about conspiracy theories and actual conspiracies. Conspiracy theories are based upon things that we already see for ourselves. And usually the theory is built upon what someone else doesn't see that other people don't see. Built upon fabrication and no actual real proof. Evidence does not prove anything to be fact unless the evidence really provides a stronger foundation to the overall argument being presented. But an actual conspiracy is different than a theory for a conspiracy. A conspiracy is basically whenever what is happening we can see for ourselves undeniably, inarguably. And of course, bullshit is afoot with these two cases. Mainly the second one that I mentioned, of course, the Ray Rice scandal. And it runs deep. It's not just in the sports industry. It's in our government system, how they rig votes and how they try and play around the rules of voting and how certain people can vote for certain members of certain parties during certain times by skewing votes and lying about it and then hiding information and then changing information and stating as it's a fact and then mudslinging and all of that, and even including not limited to impeachment of president being black because he's black. So other than the government and the sports industry, we got the game industry with the conspiracy shit. I mean, you have a woman that's using sex as a means to support her product and then having people lie for and about it to cover up information of the fact that this was basically ignoring all forms of journalistic integrity, giving it false reviews and everything. GameSpot's fucking notorious for doing that shit. With the whole Kane and Lynch thing, they fired old boy that reviewed it because he gave it an honest review and he didn't think the game was good, and they fired him because it was honest. But I wonder how much Rockstar paid their reviewers to give all of those Grand Theft Auto games during the PS2 era higher rankings, and how much Activision paid their reviewers that were going to review their Call of Duty games a bunch of money to give all of their fucking games high ratings when they all probably weren't all that great. They probably may have been the worst games, but I seriously fucking doubt that Modern Warfare 2 deserves the same score, if not higher, than Modern Warfare 1, and so on and so forth with other games. It really pisses me off. And not just with the game industry. You have, of course, you got the government industry, you got the sports industry, you have the movie industry, you got the music industry, most fucking especially. Have you heard the garbage that's been out lately on the radio? I find it hard to believe that anyone even listens to this shit and accepts it for being art or being good, if you even want to play that subjective, objective devil's advocate game with me. If it's not art, then it can't be art at all. Well, regardless, it's a product, and it's a shitty product. It's being sold at a medium for people that want it. But whenever shit is the standard, there is no opposition. And the opposition that they try and pretend like doesn't exist, but does exist, they just weed it out. And people don't stand up for this. They don't ask for anything else different. They just continue to pander to the same bullshit, and the circle continues onward. Same with movies. You give shitty movies good reviews and they get people to see them, despite the fact that for anyone that has any common sense, the trailers pretty much tell the whole damn story. It's not like there are many movies nowadays that don't reveal most of their playing cards in the first fucking hand of the game being dealt out. There's bullshit in all aspects. I'll say this much. Wherever there's money, large amounts of money being distributed to many different kinds of people, there will be bullshit, there will be conspiracy, and there will be blood. Don't expect or be surprised about the results of this just because, we're just now finding out. But I'm glad that these stories happened, because many people have probably had their doubts and their wonders and theories about it, but it had to come to this for everyone to see all of the bullshit that has been swept under the rug behind closed doors and curtains, for everyone to see. Now we can undeniably, inarguably say that yes, this has been going on, and here's the evidence and proof that has been going on. It's not a fucking conspiracy theory, it's fact. But how much longer is it going to go on? I'm glad that in the end he gets suspended for, not only lying about it, but is he the only person that's viable about this whole situation? Is the NFL going to lie to cover their tracks, or is it really truth? I doubt it, because the NFL, like other sports industries, are fucking multi-billion-dollar industries. They make tons of millions of dollars off of the backs of these players. And it's even worse with college because they don't even compensate their players fairly. It makes me mad that it's gone on this long, regardless. But how much longer? L'argent de revoir, merci mon amis. To much of my delight that this all changes for the better.